You know, you might say, oh, I'm too busy, but it's like, okay, what's the real problem? Because it's not that you're too busy. If this is important enough for you to do, you are not too busy. So follow it through and discover what the real problem is, and then go and solve that real problem. When you start to ask questions and you get curious and say, well, what can I do about this in this situation? You're seeing life from a different angle, and you're starting to see solutions and coming up with ideas and strategies that are super easy and super simple. It's gonna take you less than 3 minutes to follow the chocolate chip trail. And we're doing chocolate chips instead of breadcrumbs or something else, simply because my toddler loves chocolate chips, and so do I. So what is the chocolate chip trail? Well, it is just a fun way to say that it's that thing that you're going to notice about an objection or somewhere in your life where you're feeling stuck, and you follow it through. And that might mean asking 2 questions, that might mean asking 10 questions, but it takes less than 3 minutes, and it has the ability to get you unstuck with things that might have kept you stuck for literally decades. So for example, when I recently realized by doing this, where I'm just noticing where I'm stuck and I follow it through, I'm just following the chocolate chips, and it's like, okay, what's the next one here? But something that has kept me so stuck. So you know how your home might not be like this, but in my home, I will have these little spots where little things like to collect, and they can sit there for weeks at a time. And every time I see them, I'm like, I've got to clean that up. I've got to clean that up. And so I'm like always fighting with myself to clean it up. Something that came up very recently was that I realized those little spots are where the homeless things collect. Every single one of them, it's like, it's only stuck. Oh, it's my toddler just closing his door. Every single one of those things is there because it's homeless. And so now when I go to clean it up, I've started to follow it through, and I'm like, where would this thing's home be? And if it doesn't have a home, then I create a home. And as soon as it has a home, then that category of things stops collecting in those spots. So for me, that was my chocolate chip trail, where I just followed it through and to figure out what is the thing that, like, what is this glitch or problem or just point of frustration that I have, and how, like, you're just following it through and to overcome the objection. So like, why am I stuck? Like, this is a stuck point for me. Why am I stuck? And then you answer that next question, or because you might say, well, I don't have time. It's like, well, why don't I have time? Like, can I create time? And you might say, well, no, I can't create time because of this person or that, or because there just is no time, right? And then you realize, like, wow, I really think I have no time. And so then therefore I have no time. And so then you ask the next question, how do I create time? So wherever you're stuck, you're just asking a question to uncover, what do I need to do to solve this, to create space, or to create, what's the word I'm looking for? Just to take away the friction from your life. Quickly, before we go on, if you are looking for a quick win with your kingdom work, download the Kingdom Calling Clarity Map, which will help you figure out and nail down where you want to be, where you are now, and the exact steps that you need to take in order to get there. It is a system that I have yet to grow out of, super powerful, super simple, and will help you just clear the chaos in your life and get back on track. Okay, so I'm going to give an example that was kind of me like a year ago. This was close to what I'd struggled with, not exactly what I'd struggled with. So I'm going to create a bit of a hypothetical to give an example. All right, so when I first started making YouTube videos, let's say that I was like, my makeup has to be perfect. So then I'm like, okay, and this is all kind of going on behind the scenes, right? I'm not really, like, I'm aware that I'm thinking this, but I'm not totally aware of just how strong this is for me. So every time that I would go to try to make a YouTube video, I would get stuck, or I would get stuck in busy work because it's like, there's just something internally holding me back. But then when I identified it, I realized, okay, it's that I need my makeup to be perfect. But every time I go to put my makeup on, I realized, see, if I'm following this through, I'm like, and again, this is kind of like hypothetical, but let's say the makeup that I have, I got it when it was it was at the end of summer and I was tan, and now it's the middle of winter. And so that makeup that was perfect back then now makes me look like an orange peach. And so, which totally takes away your confidence when you're on camera, right? And so then now it's like there's that kind of that internal thing that you're not really aware of. But when you start to follow the trail, you're like, oh, okay, I'm not making videos because I need my makeup to be like, I want my makeup to be good so that I feel comfortable on videos, especially when you're first starting. That can be a huge confidence thing. But then whenever you go to do your makeup, you're like, oh, I can't do that because that one color that I have was a perfect color. Now it's not the perfect color. And then let's say you are like, okay, well then I just need to go get the right color, right? But then now let's add another twist to this and say that you had the right color because you got it as a hand-me-down from a friend of yours, and that like they got it, didn't quite work for them, but again, last summer it was the perfect tint for you, and so you got it from them, and that's how you've gotten all of your makeup. And so now, even though you're like, okay, well just go just go buy the right color for your skin tone, you have no confidence in doing that. And so now you're like, now you're really stuck because you want to make YouTube videos, but now you're super stuck because you need the right shades of makeup for you, but you have no confidence in figuring out how to go and get what you need to get. And so when you start to follow this trail, this small little thought becomes, it's a massive glitch that is keeping you stuck, which is why it is so important to follow the chocolate chip trail. And again, the only reason we're calling it the chocolate chip trail is because it would make my toddler super happy. So, where was I? Right. So hopefully you can see how important it is to learn to identify those things that are keeping you stuck. So if there's something you're wanting to do, whether it is cleaning up the little messes in your home and you want them conquered, you want them gone, or it is creating YouTube videos and there's something that's keeping you stuck, like maybe it's you don't like your lighting. Maybe it's that you don't have a space to create your videos, or you kind of like maybe you've created a space, but any time that you try to do it, there's like piles of books on that chair that you need to be sitting in. And so then it's like, okay, well, if that's the thing that's keeping you stuck, follow it through and keep on asking those questions until you figure out what is the thing that you actually need to solve. Like, what's the real problem? You've got this kind of this like, you might say, oh, I'm too busy. But it's like, what's the real problem? Because it's not that you're too busy. If this is important enough for you to do, you are not too busy. So follow it through and discover what the real problem is, and then go and solve that real problem. Again, like from that hypothetical me, there were different things I had struggled with. It wasn't quite the makeup one, but where I had to learn to actually follow through and say, okay, I'm stuck not making these videos because of this other thing over here. And there's going to be some things that you need to do that you're not doing simply because you're like, I'm terrified to be on camera. Then follow. And again, I know most of you're not going to be doing things that are on camera. I'm just giving this as an example, but just because all of our kingdom work is going to be different, but we're all going to have our own stuck points and spots. But so you might have something where you're like, you know what, I'm just terrified. But I know that I need to take this action and I'm going to be scared. I'm going to be sick to my stomach as I do it. So then just follow it through, knowing that the first 1, 2, 3 times, you're going to be sick to your stomach. Like the first video that I made, my throat was just like scratchy or like just uncomfortable, right? And even though there was no one in the room, I'm sitting in front of a camera talking about something that I want to talk about, and yet I was so scared, right? So there's gonna be things where sometimes there's gonna be something you need to follow through on, like go and find a place that can teach you how to do makeup well and take the time to learn how to do it, or just to get the confidence there. It's worth the time. Oh, which reminds me that if you would love a quick win with your kingdom work, you can download the Kingdom Calling Clarity Map, which will help you know where you want to be and the exact steps that you need to take to get there. It is a rinse and repeat kind of system, super fast, super easy, and will create a lot of impact in your life so that you can finally be doing the kingdom work that is on your heart to do for Jesus. Okay, and then now that I said that, I don't remember exactly if I had finished my point or not, but to summarize, small things, small thoughts, small beliefs, things that keep us stuck, like having piles of homeless things collecting. As soon as I realized all these little things that are collecting are homeless, and so once I create a home, they stop collecting, then that problem gets solved, right? That dilemma, that objection gets solved. So you can apply this to anything in your life, wherever you're feeling stuck, wherever there's these like small, they're just thoughts that aren't thought through. So if you take the time to follow the chocolate chip trail and just identify one thought and follow it through and figure out, why do I feel stuck? What can I do about it? And you're just asking that you just keep with everything that comes up. You're like, well, if I don't have time, how can I create time? Where can I find time? What can I do about this? And the thing lastly that I'll say is that when we say things like, I don't have time, that is a judgment on life, that it's almost like putting up a wall and saying, you cannot move past this. And we do this without even realizing we're doing it. When you ask questions, you're like, I'm going to take this brick off that wall, and then I'm going to remove these bricks, and then I'm just going to make a hole through this wall, basically. So when you start to ask questions and you get curious and say, well, what can I do about this in this situation? Your brain starts to come up with solutions. And then all of a sudden you're seeing life from a different angle without even, before you even know it, you're seeing life from a different angle, and you're starting to see solutions and coming up with ideas and strategies that are super easy and super simple. So wherever you're kind of saying, I don't have time, I don't have skill, I don't have ability, I don't have whatever I think that I need, then it's like, well, how can I do something here? How can I change this up? So whether it's small things or big things, you can apply this in less than 3 minutes and enjoy the results, because I sure do. So I hope you do too. Let me know in the comments if this was helpful. Where do you feel stuck? And when you followed the chocolate chip trail, what did you discover at the end of it? And lastly, read your Bible, get lost in the story of God, and play your part. And I will talk to you soon.